Hi everyone, I'm Nate.
I'm Sarah.
And today we're going to go over some of our favorites of the month.
We've never done this before.
You want to explain what this is?
It's exactly that.
We picked like 4 different things and we're going to talk about the 4 favorite things of the month. And the topics are...
movie, show, book, and music.
Alright.
Okay,
let's get into it.
Movies first?
Movie first.
Do you want to go?
Yes. Okay, so my pick of the month is the movie Army of the Dead. It came out on Netflix, and it was super good. I watched the trailer. I watched part of the trailer, and then I was like, "Oh, we have to watch this. I have to watch this with Sarah." And so I showed her the trailer, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a heist movie," because they're kind of showing that in the trailer. But then they showed zombies, and it's like a heist movie during a zombie apocalypse, and they actually did such a good job. Like,
it was really good.
Like most times, like movies with the synopsis that this is, and I won't lie, with Dave Bautista, might end up being a little corny. This was not.
Okay, my favorite was Spontaneous, which does not seem like the kind of movie that would be my favorite, but it was so funny.
If you have not seen or heard of this movie, it is on Amazon, and you need to go watch it. But basically, girl is in high school and people start spontaneously combusting.
And they don't know why.
Exploding, and
just
no one knows why.
Yeah. So then it's just kind of like this girl's, I don't even know.
Kind of perspective of like
this
dealing with
super weird scenario.
But then it also has like
a little bit of a romance.
A little like coming of age story.
Yeah. Like a classic corny horror flick. But it actually has a really good plot line.
This is the same as Army of the Dead, where like this, if you read the synopsis, you would think this movie is going to be super corny and it's not going to be good. But like they just did a fantastic job of the writing, the shooting, the casting.
It was done so well.
They did an amazing job overall. And
it was a fancy B movie.
Me and Sarah were both at the end of the movie just like, that was so good.
One of those movies where you're like, I want more like this, but there's not really more like this.
Like it was like campy horror movie, but like still great.
With substance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Shows.
Okay, so my favorite show this month, I watched the 4th, I think, and final season of Castlevania, which is an anime, and I love that show. The show was so great. It's a Dracula story. In this one, Dracula's bride, he teaches her, because he has all of this knowledge from being alive for thousands of years, he teaches her medicine and everything. She goes back into a village and starts using this medicine, and they label her a witch, and they kill her. And then Dracula is like, okay, you all have 100 years to leave this village, or I'm murdering everyone in the village.
You have 100 years?
Yes.
Wait, can we take a moment? I want to brighten it up a little bit so you guys can see Nate a little better.
Okay.
That better?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
This was the 4th season and the final season, I believe. I'm just starting to get into anime, so if this is like a really bad one or something, I'm really sorry for liking it. But I like it. What about you?
Okay, so mine is, I really snuck it in at the end of the month there because I literally just started watching it the day before yesterday, I think. And I already finished the whole thing. I normally don't watch shows on my own. It's called Rutherford Falls. It's on Peacock. But anyways, so Rutherford Falls is a story of kind of a colonial town, and that it was like an early American town. And it's the story of 2 friends. One has Native American heritage, and then the second is one of the original settlers, or the descendants of the original settlers of that town. And it's kind of like as crisis starts coming into the town because of those 2 conflicting communities, It's so good. The showrunner is Native American, and it's like got one of the biggest Native American writers room. Half of the writing team has Native American heritage. They talk about so many different issues and struggles that Native American people have to face in modern America, including like going to court for trying to get what they're owed and dealing with a lot of microaggressions. It's only 10 episodes. It's very lighthearted. That's the thing, is like, that sounded really intense, but it's kind of got the vibe of Parks and Rec, but more socially conscious.
Oh. Okay, so next is books. And you want to go first this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite book this month?
So my favorite book was Sitting Pretty by Rebecca, I believe it's Tusig. And it is about her life as a disabled person and all the struggles she faces and how differently her life has gone because of her disability, living on her own, having to be dependent on people sometimes, having to deal with people being overly nice that ends up being kind of insulting, having to say no to help when people are like really pushy. They're like, no, let me help you. And she's like, no, I've got it. And also her journey of trying to teach people about disability in America, because she's a teacher as well. And kind of her, it's interesting, she's like a grown woman, but it seems like kind of her coming to terms with her disability, how that may help, or how she relates to the rest of the world because of her disability, because she was brought up in a family that didn't, like, her disability wasn't a huge part of her life until she had to interact with people outside of her family.
Yeah.
But I listened to the audiobook and she reads it herself, the author reads it herself, and it's so good. I love hearing an author read audiobook.
Yeah.
They add so much more because they're like, it's obviously
it's
personal to them.
Yeah.
It's so good. What about you?
My favorite book is, I'm not finished with it yet.
I thought that was part of the title.
No. The book is called I Know My Name, and it is by C.J. Cook. And basically the synopsis of the book is this woman washes up on the shore of like an normally uninhabited island in Greece. But there are 4 friends on the island on like a writing retreat. She does not know who she is. She knows absolutely nothing about how she got there, what her own name is, or anything. And at the same time, a woman in London goes missing. And
Dun, dun.
yeah. So basically, at this point, having you believe like they're the same person, but like,
You really don't know what's going on.
you really don't know.
He's been binging this, and then he got a job, and so he's been busy.
You guys, this book is so good. It's like so interesting. They bounce back between the woman and the husband whose wife goes missing, and it just like, it's interesting the entire time.
I'm gonna read it after.
And it is so good.
4th?
Number 4.
You wanna go first? Music?
Music.
It can be an artist, it can be a song. Mine's a playlist.
You go ahead.
Okay, in the morning I like to listen to kind of like relaxing music, but not like spa music, you know, because that's kind of corny. So I was looking on Spotify for something like that wasn't just gonna be like lo-fi house music. Not my vibe. So I found this playlist called Chill and Atmospheric, I think. Yeah, Chill and Atmospheric. And it is so good. It has like such a variety of like smaller artists and larger artists, and I've yet to have it happen where you're like on this playlist and suddenly you get a funk of like poppy weirdness that like doesn't match the rest, or where you like get to really sad music and then you end up listening to like 3 sad songs in a row. It never happens. Even when I've shuffled it, it's just like consistently good, like kind of indie, alternative, I don't know, it's really good.
That's awesome. Okay, so my music pick for the month is an artist, and their name is Amir Obe, I believe. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I feel like I had heard like one of their songs like a couple months ago, and I wanted to save it, but I missed it, and then like I just ended up like it got lost in translation and it never happened. And then like this month it like came up again, and I was like, oh my
Immediately
gosh,
you're like,
this is the song, and I liked it. And I've been listening to one of their albums like over and over and over again. I put the title of the album right here.
ta-da! I'm doing the editing, so you're gonna have to tell me what it is.
But I love it so much. It's like, to me when I listen to it, I feel like all of like the higher melodies in like the instrumental are like happy-ish sounding or like major, and then all of the bass lines are minor. So it's like this like super
Really?
cool like blend of
Yeah.
like every time the high part's playing, it kind of sounds like it's like a upbeat kind of song, and then the bass is like this like dark
It makes you think
sound.
about it.
And like I love it so
Yeah.
much. But that is my music pick, and shout out to you because your music is great. And that's all we have for today.
Thank goodness, because it's almost June.
Right?
This guy's birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my birthday's coming up, you guys. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay.
If you have any of your picks that you want to put down in the comments, let us know. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.